Yankees Files podcast. We are back. I'm Will Harris, your Steve Lukather from Toto, and the rest of you are fans of the team that employs David Bednar. That team is, of course, the New York Yankees. Steve, it's been a little while. I had obligations this week. You had obligations this week. So we're recording on a Friday, which means I'm having a little drink. We'll see. There's I don't think I'll say anything more ridiculous than I would, but you never know. The Yankees are about to play the Astros, the cheating Astros, as my grandmother calls them. And there's a lot to get into, but without exposing any of your protected health data, how are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel crappy right now, but that's neither here nor there. Probably wouldn't feel crappy that much at all if things had gone better the last little bit. The emotional swing from what a great trade deadline to where's the nearest tall building has been a swift thing to have happen. It's been a tough time, man, being a Yankees fan right now. And some tough games coming up here this series with some really good pitching, and the playoff situation kind of is hanging in the balance, and that's a crazy place to be right now after the way they started the season. So pretty frustrating. I've kind of had to emotionally distance myself a little bit just to remain sane. But
is that why you're sitting in the dark? Okay, to reflect the emotions within you?
My iPad has decided it doesn't want to. Oh boy. Well, I might be fumbling with something as we do this, but yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay.
I want to highlight the grit and determination and dedication that you're showing to the Yankees Files podcast here. Yep. I mean, this is a man who is ill. This is a man whose iPad is not illuminating him to the degree that he would prefer.
Wasn't charging. It's charging now. We're good.
This is a man who's been intensely disappointed by the recent performances of the New York Yankees, to the point that he explored invoking some of the tendencies of co-hosts past.
Didn't do it, though. Didn't do it.
And I respect that.
I had some funny lines. So I had some funny lines queued up.
You had some stuff ready to go.
I wrote some stuff. I have some sheets of notes of different drafts I was going to do. And just didn't want to do it.
Friend of the show, Taylor Jackson, of course, originator of Hit Ball Over Fence, suggested that we should have a segment called the Doomer Hotline, where people can call in or leave messages just about how bad they're feeling about the team. I think you would probably be a pretty good first caller into the Doomer Hotline.
See, what's funny is that between the two of us, certainly. That is where I remain. In the grand scheme of Yankees fans, I'm still in the 1%, the 1 percentile of optimism.
You're the 1% of the 1%.
Yeah, I'm still way more optimistic, I think, than most people are, but it's dwindled.
I mean, and to be clear, the Yankees have not given us a lot of reasons to be feeling great.
No.
They had the really good series against Tampa, in which they won 3 out of 4.
Yep.
And then they had what everyone thought, and I think history will show, to be a terrific trade deadline.
It was whether it works out, it was good moves. I like the moves. I support the moves.
Yes, agreed. And then they went up 9-4 on the Marlins, and it was sick, here we go. And then not Connor Norby, whatever his name is, Kyle Heston Kjerstad Stowers happened. And
it wasn't just that, it was everything, man.
Yeah, it was everything. But so I have a few thoughts that I want to get into. First thought, any team can lose back-to-back lowish scoring games to Edward Cabrera and Yuri Perez.
Sure.
Any team can do that. Many teams will do that. Many teams have done that this year. The Marlins have been the best team in baseball since the middle of June or something, or second to the Brewers, whatever it is.
It's true.
There's not really any shame in that game as far as I'm concerned. in those games.
It's just punctuated because of the first one.
It's punctuated by the first game. Absolutely. It's exacerbated by the first game.
It hurts. That game still bothers me. I actually was telling people that night that it wouldn't bother me because I assumed they would just win games, and then they didn't. So it's like every loss that's followed it has made that individual game feel like a bellwether, I guess, or like a changing of the tide. And Aaron Boone admitted that they were kind of screwed over mentally by it. That it
I mean,
hurt them.
I think it's hard to come back from something like that. Like as you know, I don't like to read into a lot of like the mental stuff or claim to know we can know this or that. But
neither do I.
A, they have said certain things, and B, like, I think you can imagine. I think we can all relate to being in situations in which something is going really well and then it starts to go really poorly, and how that makes us feel. Like, I don't know. Have you ever been? This is I have no idea how relatable or not relatable this is. I want to preface with that. But have you ever been driving somewhere, like maybe a long road trip, but you care about when you're going to arrive and you're making great time, you're feeling good, maybe you've stopped less frequently than you originally thought you might, that ETA is going down, standstill traffic.
Sure.
Like, that's really discouraging. I can imagine that blowing a lead, a big lead, feels not unlike that. And that sucks. And I imagine they felt like it sucked. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think just mentally, you'd ended before the trade deadline on a positive note. You had come reinforced. You came out that first game, and it was like, this is what we are now. We're a damn good team, and we're going to win these games. And then it was like, oh, wait, our bullpen's still going to not just like that was a whole different realm of bullpen being bad. I mean, it was unsustainably stupid too. I mean, it was like crazy stuff, weird stuff. Javier Sanoa hitting a home run off David Bednar, 2 home runs in that game. Like, that guy doesn't even have power. What is that about? Camilo Duvall kind of didn't even pitch that bad, and then Caballero lets the ball run under his. I mean, it was if I'd watched any other team do this, it was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Obviously, Jose Caballero let a ball go under his glove for his first error as an outfielder ever, because Aaron Boone doesn't value fundamentals.
Well, then that's the thing where I talk often about like how I might sometimes get angry like the fan base will, but I just don't come to the same conclusions they will. I don't blame Aaron Boone for putting a guy who's been good in right field this year and has played it many times, for putting him out there in right field. People are like, why didn't they put Austin Slater out there? What, the worst defender? Like, what are we talking about here? He put the better guy out there.
Yeah.
Like it does. A bad thing happened. What are we supposed to say? Is it the pressure of playing in New York? Was it the first day on the team jitters? Could it be? Who knows? We'll never know. It's impossible to say. But what it definitely was not is some poor decision making. He put in the good players. Aaron Boone used his new good players, and bad things happened.
Yeah. And then in Texas, he used Devin Williams, and a bad thing happened. I got to be honest.
I don't know about that one sometimes, but yeah.
I got to be honest. Devin Williams was a lot worse in the second game than he was in the first game.
Yes. It seemed
and
like
I
it
don't
got
think
to him.
people are treating it that way.
Or at least I don't know. He gave up one bomb. He threw one bad pitch. Like, that can happen anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, guys give up one home run all the time.
Yes. And there's this erasure occurring right now where people are forgetting that Devin Williams was legitimately good for an extended period of time. And now it's like come back around to he's been a total and absolute terrible pitcher all year.
Even now, it's like
true.
28 of his last 35 appearances or something have been scoreless. Like, it's still with decent frequency, Devin Williams is pitching well. He just had, 2 bad outings in a row.
And look, I mean, like, it's been acquiring Devin Williams at this point now, I think it's pretty clear to say, has been a failure. It didn't work out. Didn't work out like we hoped it would. Doesn't mean he hasn't been a good pitcher for extended periods of time.
Doesn't mean he can't pitch well for the rest of the year.
No, the stuff is still there. All the other things. Is it mental? Is it? I don't know. Definitely didn't work out like we wanted it to.
No,
that's fair to say. But it doesn't mean he can't be an impact arm. It's the stuff is still there. But it is nice now to have David Bednar and Camilo Duvall to take some of the weight off.
How about David Bednar going out and getting 5 strikeouts, when
Should have been
didn't
6
you
strikeouts.
post
He didn't even
should
need the 6th one, but I mean,
should
like,
have been yeah.
yeah.
Didn't you post that the Yankees had gotten 4 strikeouts out of the first 22 outs and then 5 in the last 5?
Yep, 4 Ks and 7 1/3, and then David Bednar struck out 5, and every out he got, inning and 2/3. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's wild.
Who's your
Gutsy,
favorite of the trade deadline acquisitions?
That's tough. I like Duvall for the extra year over Bednar. And he's not my favorite of the group, but Jake Bird, I love Jake Bird. I've been harping about Jake Bird. I know it hasn't looked good for the first little bit. It also, in typical Jake Bird fashion, like you saw the strikeout against Semien, where Semien looked like he almost killed himself. It's gross. And that's what Jake Bird has.
He swung at a pitch while trying to get out of the way of the same pitch.
It was hilarious. And I think Jake Bird got overused to hell in Colorado, and maybe he's tired, maybe whatever. But like the second outing he pitched, nasty. And even the last outing, originally walked a guy, and then not unlike Bednar or not unlike Devin Williams, just gave up a home run. It was one swing. It was a home run. That can happen. It was on a sinker in off the plate. Like really, he had the first outing wasn't good. The last 2, I don't think he looked bad. Honestly.
I agree.
Yeah. So I mean. But my favorite, I would say, Bednar will probably be the most. He's the highest floor, highest ceiling combo. He's going to be good. Yeah. Camille Duvall is a little bit of a wild cardy. He's kind of had some stuff, but I'm gonna go Duvall. Actually, I think Duvall is my favorite.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Camilo Duvall's so much fun. I love, not surprisingly, the guy who throws hard, gets more swings and misses than you realize, and gets a ton of ground balls. I don't know any reliever for the Yankees who that sounds like.
Clay Duvall.
Clay Duvall. The modern Rivera.
Cruella DeVille.
Nice. That might become a thing. Cruella Duvall. Anyway. It was, the David Bednar thing was really cool. Billy Warren did not pitch great that day by any means, but like made it happen. Yep. I think one has to ask, and I'm sure you'd agree with me here. The Rangers went like 0 for 20 with runners in scoring position in that game. Yeah. That's Bruce Bochy's fault, right?
Well, I mean, transitive property, it'd have to be, right? I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy that happened. I don't know. The Rangers are a weird team. Their offense kind of sucks, but I don't know. Their pitching's really good. I don't know.
Their pitching's phenomenal.
Evaldi was.
Evaldi's just a monster. Like
it doesn't make sense.
He's doing, and this is not an accusation. I want that to be extremely clear because there are clean guys who did this. Randy Johnson is the best example. But he's doing the thing that we used to see guys do in like the late 90s and early 2000s, where you turn like 33 and become a demon.
Right.
And I think in many cases that was PED aided, Roger Clemens probably being the notable example, but like he's insane. He just keeps getting better. And he's never really been bad, so it's kind of terrifying for a player that good to continue getting better.
The velo goes down and the stuff just gets better or something.
He's going to have like a decent Cy Young case, which is crazy because he only has 19 starts.
Yeah, he's insane, man. I don't know. It's just when you watch him, it's not like overpowering like you would have thought Evaldi would have been like early when the Yankees had Nathan Evaldi.
How it looked like he was going to be.
Yeah, like you thought the best version of him was throwing 100 miles an hour, striking out 1 million people and everything else. His mix in command is like impeccable at this point. I mean, the way he mixes his splitter in, which is nostalgia based because the Yankees tried to teach him a splitter in the second year they had him. I still remember that. Now he has this devastating splitter. He's got the cutter, the four seam, the curveball, slider he'll mix in there. It's just like everything. And he dots everything. And it's nuts.
Can we discuss probably the weirdest thing about Nathan Evaldi, which is that when he was throwing 100 miles an hour, he was striking out 7 guys per 9.
Yeah, he couldn't strike anybody out.
What was that?
I don't remember because I don't think we had all the data on his pitches back then. That's
No.
like 2013, 2014. But I would caution a guess that like the induced vertical break wasn't great, spin rate wasn't awesome, and he was just trying. He didn't have much else to go to. He
Yeah.
was really just chucking 100 in there over and over and over again.
Which was
And
kind of sick.
yeah, I mean,
2015 Nathan Eovaldi was like a good player.
he wasn't a bad
Yeah.
pitcher for the Yankees, really. No, he
Yeah.
just wasn't. He didn't turn. I remember when they traded for him, it was like a who? I didn't even know
Yeah.
who he was. And then he's like throwing 100, and especially at that point, it was like, how did the Yankees just pick up this guy
Yeah.
who throws 100 miles an hour for like nothing? I don't understand. I don't know who they even gave up for him. Now that might be an interesting
Yeah.
tidbit.
I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna see if you can guess it. I have to
I
remember
definitely
the
can't.
guy well enough to
Because who'd they even get?
give you
They get him from the
hints.
Marlins, right? That's where they got him from.
Oh, yeah. So do you know who came with him?
From the Marlins?
Yeah.
What position or what? Like I got a hit. I got to get a hint of some kind. Doesn't have to be.
So
something.
everyone involved in the trade everyone involved in the trade has played Major League Baseball for the New York Yankees.
Interesting.
Eovaldi and the two guys he came with and the two guys the Yankees traded away. Position player, first baseman, right fielder, who was awful, was part of the return to the Yankees.
Wow. Like Garrett Jones or something
Garrett
like that.
Jones.
Let's go.
Yep. Known
Let's
pirate,
go.
Garrett Jones.
Oh my God, that was a shot in the dark.
That was impressive.
Wow.
They also got someone who did domestic violence.
I mean, whoa. No, don't know off the top of my head. No, that's way too early. No, I don't know.
Someone who
Sergio Mitre came to mind. I'm like, that's an earlier time period. Yeah.
This player also led the league in winning percentage in 2019.
What?
Like it's a starting pitcher.
Starting pitcher?
Yeah.
No, you're gonna have to tell me. I can't.
Went like 11-0 in his first 11 decisions that year.
For what team?
For the New York Yankees.
For the New York. Wait, what? I'm just blanking then because I can't think.
Has something in common with the Davids, Cone, and Wells.
I'm just too tired. It's just messed up to think about.
Has something in common with Don Larson.
He threw a perfect game. I mean, oh God. Okay, now I got it. Little Domingo Herman. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And the Yankees.
Wow. Yeah.
The Yankees traded away two people. One, kind of utility player. I think of
Garrett Jones, but couldn't get Domingo Herman.
That was funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
They traded away a utility infielder who had actually been very good for them in limited time in 2014. They had traded for this player in 2014.
No, that's
this guy only played half a season with the Yankees. You probably think of him as a Brave.
My brain is just too cloudy to be doing these trivia games right now.
That's Martin Prado.
Oh God. Yeah, I could have gotten Prado out of that. Yeah, damn.
And they also traded away a guy who they used as both a reliever and a starter who went on to have, yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I know he played for the Marlins, so yeah, that was on my mind.
David
he was like low key really good out of relief for like a couple seasons. He had crazy K rates that came out of nowhere.
I mean 2012 especially.
Yeah.
He was very good. He had 11 starts that year. But yeah, like 2016 in Miami, 64 games, 2.8 baseball reference WAR, 11.8 strikeouts per nine.
Yeah.
He was like a legit guy.
And he screwed with the Blue Jays a lot. I remember the Blue Jays acquired him at least once. I think they might have acquired him twice, and he like let them down both times. Yeah, like he just didn't work out both times.
Yeah, that's true. David Phelps was arguably so first of all, go Irish. David Phelps went to Notre Dame. Second of all, arguably the guy who exposed the great farce of Joe Girardi nicknames. Phelpsy is a terrible nickname, But Joe Girardi would sit there getting it interviewed and he'd be like, look, Phelpsy pitched well. It's like there has to be a line somewhere. And the line should
Girardi never
probably
found
be
the line.
Phelpsy.
He never found it. No, it was always E. Everything was E. Did anybody not have an E name? I don't think anybody did.
I mean, did they call him GD? Derek E?
Fair. What do they call him? Just Jeet? Captain?
Jeet? Cap?
Cappy?
I don't know. Sandy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Middle name Sanderson?
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff I would
I guess
do.
A-Rod didn't have an E name either, so.
Yeah.
Roddy.
Yeah. I liked Xavi, Eric Chavez.
Yeah.
That was
Eric
a great.
Chavez.
I got to do a plug for the now defunct Captain's Log Derek Jeter Diaries series, which was on Grantland, the website. It was a guy in like 2012 to 2014, or maybe like 2011 to 2014, writing fake diary entries as Derek Jeter about what was going on in the Yankees season. And in one of them, A-Rod like decides that he loves Eric Chavez. And he starts referring to him as E-Rod. And
Chavez was a good Yankee, man. Weirdly.
He was.
Yeah.
Eric Chavez, he's also one of the best players never to be an all-star.
He was never an all-star.
Eric Chavez, 6 Gold Gloves, a Silver Slugger, 38 WAR, never an all-star.
Does he still have, because he had it forever, does he still have the record for the biggest contract for the Athletics? Which is insane if he does, because it was signed back in like 01.
Didn't Luis Severino break it?
Was that the biggest they've ever done, though? I think that was biggest free agent, but they extended Chavez.
Oh, it's like the Giants situation where, yeah, it may be that.
I think that's the biggest contract they've ever put pen to paper on, is that Chavez one, which is insane.
Could be, which is ridiculous.
Considering inflation and whatnot, yes, it's pretty outrageous.
Let's see. It says, I think Luis Severino was the biggest guarantee in franchise history. So let's find out.
It's possible then. I thought Chavez made over 100 million. I mean, I know
his career earnings are under 100 million.
Oh, well then he definitely didn't then, obviously. Okay. That explains that.
6
it was
years,
the biggest for a long
66
time.
million.
Okay. That's crazy. That was the biggest contract they've ever given until this last offseason?
It might. What's the Sevy contract?
Like 68 million.
67 million. Yeah. So by $1 million.
That's insane.
And let's be very clear. The A's have had good players. They had Tim Hudson. They had Mark Mulder. They had Matt Holliday. They had Carlos Gonzalez. They had Josh Donaldson.
Yep. Chapman.
Yep. They had Matt Chapman and Matt Olson.
Yep. Sean Murphy even. He's
Sean Murphy.
But yeah, they had some really good players. They just don't ever sign any of them.
Yeah. And
they don't get enough heat for that. They don't get enough heat.
Well, I think the A's have gotten a decent amount of heat.
I feel like they get a little bit less because they have been very intermittently competitive. Like
there was a time when they were consistently pretty good.
Yeah, and like unlike the Pirates or something like that, where like the A's have actually been good at times. And they kind of have a decent core building up right now, again, that they can all purge again in 3-4 years.
Imagine it's been like a week and a half since you listen to the Yankees Files podcast and you tune in and we're talking about the biggest contracts that the A's have ever given out. I feel like people know what they're signing up for at this point.
The Freudian person in me would say we are distracting from talking about what needs to be talked about.
Well, we had to talk about the Nathan Eovaldi contract or the Nathan Eovaldi trade, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know how we got onto this topic now.
Because we were talking about Nathan Eovaldi.
How did we get to Eric Chavez?
Nathan Eovaldi to David Phelps to Phelpsy to Joe Girardi nicknames to A-Rod to the Derek Jeter diaries to Eric Chavez. Yeah.
There we go. Gotcha. Interesting.
Anyway, the Yankees were playing really well and then they lost 5 out of 6 games. And by playing really well, I mean they had won 4 out of 5.
It
Um,
sucked. I texted you saying I give up.
yeah, Steve
I
said
did do that.
he said he's out on this team. He said he's contemplating posting a Whipple style, crash out on
I did.
Twitter.
I said all of those things.
And to your credit, you didn't do those things.
Didn't do it. And I was pretty honest with one person when I tweeted some sad message, and somebody responded to me saying, "I think it's over." And I said, "Right now, I agree with you, but I'll probably wake up in the morning and not agree with you." You know,
So
and
talk me through this, because one of the things that has been repeated on this podcast is that you have some prior opinion of how good the team is. And
right.
there is some amount of baseball that constitutes a large enough sample for you to change that opinion. That could be a few games for some people, that could be a couple years for other people. And you've noted a number of times that if you were feeling good about the team yesterday, one game shouldn't be enough to change your opinion. But
Yep.
eventually there's an inflection point, right? Eventually you are a tipping point and you say, okay, now it's been enough time that
Sure.
I've changed my view of who the Yankees are.
Sure.
Did you get to that point?
No, and I think that's what's so agonizing about all of this is that I look at the team and think it's good. I
Yeah.
really haven't changed too much of my opinion about the quality of the team. They just don't win the games. And it's so that's where I am resisting posting anywhere. Like I texted you, I'm out because I was just raging and wanted to say it to somebody. But I mean, I haven't said I'm like done on the team. Or I think that the closest I got was saying that, my brain believes they're going to the playoffs. My gut just doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at right now. Is logically, I look at everything and I'm like, this is a good team. Why aren't they winning the games though? I don't know. I don't know. And people fill in those blanks with all kinds of stupid stuff. Accountability, Aaron Boone, blah, 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 blah. That's where they go when they don't have explanations. And I don't think that's true. I think baseball will just baseball on you. And I think the Yankees have had a lot of baseball happen to them this year. And they're in a playoff spot right now. They have a good team. I believe they have a good team. They have a superior strength of the schedule compared to the teams around them. If you believe the team is good, there is still plenty enough time for them to show that and to remain in a playoff team and go to the playoffs. Like it is logically more likely they go to the playoffs than they don't. But I can understand why it's hard to feel that right now.
And there are things about the team that are good. Like they have the best offense in baseball, for example.
The pitching has just been so bad.
Yeah, the
So
pitching has been bad for an extended period of time. And
yeah.
like I just arbitrarily picked May 29th. The Yankees are 28th in pitching WAR since May 29th.
That's so
they
bad.
are 27th in ERA. And that's everyone. That's like not just bullpen. And look, I think.
But it's accountability. It's Aaron Boone, actually.
Exactly.
That's the insane thing about it's a whole aside. But like they're 27th in ERA. Like, what are we talking about here? Are we blaming other stuff? They don't pitch. But the pitching should be good. I look at it and it should be good. That's or at least okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think you question, in that span, Luis Heel has made one start. It wasn't very good. Clark Schmidt has been gone for basically that entire time.
Sucks.
Garrett Cole has not appeared for the Yankees this year.
Brutal.
So I think one can fairly question how good is a team supposed to be in the absence of a stud and two like solid role playing guys within their starting rotation. Obviously, that time also coincides with an extended period during which they didn't have Fernando Cruz, during which they didn't have Mark Leiter. A period of that time, I think, is when Luke Weaver was hurt. So, like, the Yankees have not been playing with
Fried and Rodon have just regressed too. I mean, it's just
yeah,
and that all occurring together is brutal. Like Fried had a really bad month.
he did
like a really bad month, and Rodon's kind of had a little bit longer than a bad month.
A team could survive that regression if it were, playing with a stacked deck or even
Right.
just a full deck from the pitching side, but the Yankees just haven't had that. Like, if we look at who how innings have been distributed amongst the Yankees in that time, obviously you have Fried and Rodon, and then it's 65 from Will Warren, and he's been decent, but he wasn't in the plan. Like, Clark Schmidt, only 35. You have Marcus Stroman, 29 innings, and then it's Tim Hill, Jonathan Loizago's hurt, Devin Williams, who hasn't been super effective, Ian Hamilton, who hasn't been effective, Ryan Yarbrough, who was bad in the 20 inning sample that includes. Like, in that time, the Yankees, with no innings minimum, only have 7 guys with an ERA under 4.
That's crazy.
And like, the story changes if you look at FIP. They have 9 guys with a FIP under 4. Max Fried is one of them. Like, so, but like,
there's some luck,
dude.
Yeah, it's just been terrible. And one of the things I reject and I hate, and we can get back to more of the small sample discussion with this, is that people are now coming for like Matt Blake or something,
Ridiculous.
and I've seen many takes about that like, maybe it's not, it's I don't know, it's not even really worth talking about, but it just, this is not indicative of anything other than bad things can happen. Injuries mounted up and some players underperformed. There's nothing there that is like, this can't happen, this couldn't have happened, this is impossible to have happen. This can happen to anybody. The Dodgers have been going through their own hell. The Mets have been going through their own hell. I think the Yankees have had a similar level of... The Tigers lost
12 out of 13 at one point, didn't they?
Yes, yeah. So, I mean, I think the Yankees have been punctuated a little bit more by some bizarre things happening on top of their own struggles that have pushed them down even further, and that sucks. But I don't think you can make too many stories or narratives or conclusions based on what's happened outside of this sucks.
Yeah, this is like, one time, I think it was on River Ave Blues, so this would have been like 10 years ago. They posted just like a very simple little drawing, and it was like, from 2001 on, it was like too much hitting, not enough pitching. And then, like, the hitting line was going down, the pitching line was coming up, and they crossed in 2009, and it was like the perfect amount of everything, win the World Series. And then the hitting line kept going down and the pitching line kept going up. And yeah, and it just feels like, it's not weird to see a team that has a really good offense and just can't pitch well enough to sustain it. And the Yankees, to your point, through a combination of injuries and underperformance, have found themselves in a situation where that's what's going on. And that's not to say they're going to be there forever. They made their bullpen a lot better in the last, 10 days than it was prior to that. And we should expect those guys to succeed.
The confluence of
offense
Bednar
is very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you can, as you said, if you believe in this team, you can easily tell yourself the story about how they succeed. And I think that's completely reasonable. And I think I do. But like, the people who have said, oh, if the Yankees lose the World Series, it's going to be because of silly mistakes, or if the Yankees miss the playoffs, it's going to be self-inflicted. No, it's just going to be because they don't have enough guys who can pitch enough innings competently at the major league level. And what would really help? 180 innings of Garrett Cole. Like, it's not that hard to understand.
There's this insistence, this insane, ludicrous notion that Austin Wells not knowing how many outs there were, Jazz Chisholm getting tagged out at first base, the Caballero under the glove, that those things are somehow more significant than the Yankees having the 27th worst ERA in baseball since May 29th, whatever you said. And that's just an absurd thing.
It's not a reasonable thing to believe.
No. Because guess what? None of those things matter. Even if they happen, they don't matter if the Yankees just pitch well. That's it. I mean, I don't know. I wish there was a way to measure things like that happening. Does it really happen to the Yankees more often? We never know, because no other team has the spotlight put on them as much as the Yankees and have prescribed narratives. They were already fighting back against the notion that they make stupid mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
That was already, so anytime there is a mistake or something stupid happens, it's just this reaffirmation of this narrative. I mean, stupid. But
I want to emphasize, like, the Yankees have allowed the 5th most earned runs in that time and the 4th most runs. Like, it's not
like those errors
the
are like
problem
allowing,
is the 5th most earned runs. Like,
it's really dumb.
yeah,
But look, it's harder to get upset about that in a way. It's so much easier just to latch on to the narratives, man.
of course, because and it's funny, like, I've been thinking about kind of this like universe of takes that I might have. One is people always think the players, or people tend to think that the players on their team are worse than they are because you always watch your team. So you see every run that every pitcher allows. You see every error that every fielder makes. You see every out that every hitter makes. Whereas if you're a fan of an opposing team and you see this team 3 or 6 or 13 times a year, you see some of the runs that they score. You see that most of the time their pitchers get most of the guys out. Like,
right.
And I've been thinking about that just because of the way that, you know, people talk about the Yankees and how Yankees fans just tend to hate their teams. And I think like it's more common than we give it credit for. Like, I think a lot of fans hate their teams.
Yeah,
like
I think
Mets fans are convinced that the Mets will always lose everything.
Sure.
And the Mets for the last few years, like since 2022, have been quite a good team, with the exception of 2023, I guess. But like,
there's no equal to the way that the rest of baseball just group piles on the Yankees. There's no other team that has to deal with that the way that the Yankees do. Like, case in point, Aaron Boone managing in the All-Star game. Like, what the hell was that? Just every fan base coming out and saying, like, how do you guys live with Aaron Boone all the time? Like, what? No other manager in the sport would have been subjected to that nonsense.
No.
And Yankees fans will sit back and retroactively use that as evidence of, well, yeah, they only do it because he's that bad. And it's like, that's just, no, it's like you're reflecting back at yourself. You make it, it reflects back at you, and then you say, look, it's true. It's like,
yeah, it's ridiculous. So the Yankees have the Astros this weekend.
I'm not excited about this.
The Astros have Carlos Correa again.
Yeah. Has he done anything for them since he went back?
I need to look. I know that he hasn't been this year the Carlos Correa that people are accustomed to seeing. Let's see.
But he was really good last year, so.
In 28 plate appearances with the Astros, he, of course, is hitting 346, 393, 538 for a 160 WRC plus.
I'm shocked. I am shocked that he's back on that team. The whole Minnesota thing just feels like a weird fever dream now.
Yeah. And it's like, I'll say it, I'm mad at the Twins. They got nothing for him. I suppose
they
the
just
Astros,
wanted salary relief. They didn't want to pay him
the
anymore.
only team that valued Carlos Correa enough to take his contract on.
Yeah,
because anyone could have had him. They gave up nothing.
Whoa. Jeremy Pena has been weirdly so good. What the
Jeremy
hell?
Pena has been like the second best player in the American League.
I knew he was playing well earlier. I didn't realize it had been, wow.
Yeah, and it's like it's backed up.
I was a hater.
Well, you had every reason to be a hater. Like Jeremy Pena, he still never walks, but like he used to strike out about a league average amount, never walk, and be an intensely average hitter. And then he raised his slug by 100 points this year and figured out how to get on base, which is largely batting average on balls in play driven. But the batting average on balls in play is coming from the fact that he's like a 350 ex-Woba guy now. It's insane.
Yeah,
and he's going to have maybe the best defensive season of his career.
Well, yeah, that's always been true too. He's been really good in that regard. Yeah. But like, if you look at his savant, there's so many issues, but it does still translate to a 354 ex-Woba. So I get that. But like, he doesn't hit the ball particularly hard. His launch angles are not good.
Yeah.
He chases a lot. He whiffs way too much for chasing that much. Somehow doesn't strike out that much despite all of that. and,
Yeah.
and it never walks. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
I
know.
assume it's that he's
He's a high wire act kind of player.
yeah. Yeah, like I maybe Jeremy Pena will never do this again. Um
Yeah. Because it doesn't look, if you go back and look at his 24, 23, it's actually the same shape. It's just all
mhm,
better. It's all better. It's not like
yeah.
anything's different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's just doing what he's always done, just at a better version.
Yeah. So that'll be fun cuz well, here's the spin zone. In 2022, when Jeremy Pena played really well against the Yankees in the ALCS, it was like, come on, Jeremy Pena's like the most average dude. You can't get Jeremy Pena out. Now people don't get Jeremy Pena out, so it's fine if he succeeds.
Yeah, that's true. Who else do they have doing well right now? I don't follow the. And they probably have. Is Walker doing anything?
He's better than he was
Okay.
like right at the beginning of the season. I think he homered
Oh,
maybe twice against Boston.
he's rebounded a lot to be even close to league average right now.
Yeah. So like, he's in the 90s WRC plus. Yeah, he's at 95. Paredes, who's hurt for the season, was doing really well. And then Altuve is their only
Paredes
other
is out. Oh, that's
yeah.
so good. That's so good. No cheat.
Altuve is their
Crawford
only
process.
other 120 or higher WRC plus bat, and he has not hit the ball well. But he's just pulled everything.
Cam Smith didn't really work out too well. He's been okay.
I mean, the Cam Smith victory laps that were going on at the beginning of the season, who could have thought that those were premature?
Man, this team
almost like Kyle Tucker is
either.
a very good player. They don't have Jordan either. Not that Jordan was playing well when he was playing.
No, but you would imagine he would.
Yeah.
Eventually play well. Where is their like really goodness come? Or not that they're having an amazing season, but they're having a kind of a good-ish season. Good season. Where is it coming from? Is it just the pitching then?
Yeah, I mean they're second in pitching war.
Yeah.
They're honestly
their bullpen's really good too.
They're basically the American League Phillies. Like
Colors was terrible.
They have a couple good hitters, and then they just pitch you to death.
But it really looks like, from a starting perspective, it's just Fromber and Hunter Brown, who of course Yankees will have to face. But like beyond that, starting rotation wise, who are we looking at here? Brandon Walter? I don't even know who that really is. He's been he's been weird. He doesn't walk anybody. 4 walks in 53 innings.
So we're getting, according to Roster Resource, we're getting Brown, Valdez, and the vaunted Colton Gordon.
Okay, I see Colton Gordon on here. Whoa. A lot of hits. No walks.
No walks, not a ton of strikeouts. Gives up a lot of runs.
A lot of home runs.
A lot of home runs.
16 home runs in 66 innings is really intense. That's a lot.
Let's hope he gives up 1,000 more.
I don't know anything about Colton Gordon, to be honest.
This is my first time hearing of Colton Gordon.
Yeah.
Can you guess where Colton Gordon went to college?
I can click on his name and then pretend.
No,
it was
don't
a
do
guess
that.
As I
No,
tell you.
no, don't do that.
I already looked, so it doesn't matter.
Damn it.
A Floridian dude. Born in Florida, went to Central Florida.
How about that? He's basically Mickey Mouse.
Their bullpen's good. Hader, Abreu, Okert, King, Bennett Sousa has been weirdly good this year too. What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, it's, as I said though, like I think American League Phillies is basically the way to think of them.
Yeah.
Because you can, if you can get through the few dangerous hitters, maybe you can navigate the rest of the lineup, but it's just hard to score runs off them.
That's always been their thing. Not always, but I feel like so often that's been their thing, is it's so hard to score off of Houston. It's so annoying. They always have good pitching. I really wish we only had to face one of Fromber or Hunter Brown. It seems cruel and unusual. We have to do both of them this series.
So as you know, I think that player versus team statistics
they're stupid.
Mostly astrology.
Yes.
That said, Fromber hasn't like owned the Yankees.
No, he's just really good.
Yeah.
And I still remember 2022 in the playoffs. He completely owned the Yankees in one of those starts.
That's true. In the regular season, he has a 6.5 ERA in 18 innings against the Yankees.
What was the line on that postseason start? Because I remember where I was actually in Virginia Beach on a trip, and I was watching it at a bar, and I drank myself into
7
Sad.
innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, none earned, no
Remember they even got
walks,
2 runs?
9 strikeouts.
I'm surprised they even had 2 runs. What was the score of that game?
3-2.
Really? It was that close too? Wow, I don't
Yep.
remember it being like that.
Yeah.
Man. Ugh. That was such a disappointing series.
Yeah, I don't like that guy. Anyway, Steve, it's time to get to the part of the podcast that everyone wants to hear from you. You said that your confidence rating in the team is the percent chance that you think they're going to make the playoffs.
I don't want to retroactively go back because that's not the way it was. That's not the way it was.
Yeah, but what is it now?
Leading up to it. I don't know. I think last time I said 66% was where I was at.
Yep.
And I said that was not including potential trade deadline acquisitions. So they made acquisitions that I do feel like make the team better.
Yep.
And they've done what they had to do with what they did over those days. So
yeah,
maybe just don't move. Maybe I remain. I think like the most estimators would put them around the 80% chance, right?
Pacoda has them at 90. I think Fangraphs is what, like 75 or 80?
Yeah. 90 seems optimistic.
Fangraphs is 83. Fangraphs WAR is 80, ATC 85, the BAT 83,
See,
Oopsie
I think
88,
that's where my
date,
brain sits.
65.
My brain sits on very likely, but because it's baseball and there's so much variance and there's no real gap anymore between the Yankees and not making the playoffs, it's like basically nothing at this point. Anything can happen. So it would be disingenuous of me to say 95% or something. So if my head says 85% and my gut says it's a coin flip, average that out.
Can you average that out?
I'm not going to do it right now. No, let's just say like 65%. We'll stay where we were, 66%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go 8.5 then, because why not?
So you're 85% certain in the playoffs?
Yeah.
That's very low for you.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. It's
That's
reflective
true.
of not being,
Yeah, I mean, like, it eventually, this is the thing. Like, I think if the baseball season were 2 years long, this Yankees team would eventually separate itself. Like, I think that long run, they'd be better than Toronto. I think they'd be better than Detroit. I think they'd be better than Houston. I think they just have better players. I think that they would benefit more from guys coming back and being healthy, like all of that. But
imagine Garrett Cole coming back halfway through a 2-year season.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. But the season is only as long as it is. Yeah. And every game that they've played so far counts. So I have to take that into account. And that's where I land. I think like it's only in the last week that I've been less than pretty much 100% confident that they're going to make the playoffs. But
I think the last time we spoke, you said 95.
Yeah. And as you said, like in the interim, they have removed any cushion between themselves and everyone else in the wild card race. So, that's what happens. I think they're better than all those teams.
Yep.
But they have to get those results on the field, which they've struggled to do.
Yeah, it's on paper. You can still draw it up. Like, look at the Yankees, look at their schedule, look at their team compared to the other teams. The Yankees are just better. I think their schedule there is more in favor. Like, and that's why I think it is logical to say like 85% chance or something like that. But because baseball is random, because Yankees just don't seem to win games. I have no measure for that. I drop the analytical version of myself when I say that, but they lose.
I mean, it's absolutely the case that the Yankees have found a way to lose games more often than they ought to.
Yes.
That doesn't mean it's a part of their character or that it will continue, but it is a statement about what has happened.
It is about what has happened. And logically, I know that there's no reason to absolutely believe that it will continue to happen, but I also can't help it. And I don't know.
It doesn't feel like it won't continue to happen, but it's also like probably reasonable to believe that it won't continue to happen.
Who do they play after Houston?
Minnesota, St. Louis, Tampa before the Boston series. Okay. 4 games at the stadium.
There's a lot of really good stretches coming up. I believe it's the first stretch of September that is kind of rough. There's
after Boston, it's Nats, White Sox, and
Yeah.
then you have the rough stretch of Houston, Toronto, Detroit, Boston.
Yes,
but
yeah.
then you get
But then
into
it's the end of the season's
week
like
end of
easy.
September. Yeah.
Yes. So there are a lot of stretches where things can go very well. I think if they somehow have a good series here in Houston and they line that up facing this easier stretch of schedule, it becomes so much easier. Like
That would be nice.
Just put a few games of gap between you and the death zone of not even making the playoffs, and it all becomes a lot easier. But beating Hunter Brown tonight with rookie Cam Schlittler on the mound in Houston doesn't sound very fun. Doesn't sound like it's going to go well.
I have great news for you, which is that they're playing in New York.
Oh, are they? I thought they were in Houston. Oh,
well,
wow.
It would be really hard for them to have Old Timers Day this weekend in
That's
Houston.
right. There's Old Timers Day. All right, well, they're at home. In my brain, I was just imagining the Crawford boxes.
Well, you don't have to worry about that until either the beginning of September or later this month. I forget which.
Well, I get all the Yankees fans get to see Hunter Brown shut them the heck out.
Oh, come on, Steve. Well,
Hunter Brown's good. Hunter Brown's good.
He is. I wish he wasn't.
Yep.
We're gonna get this wrapped up here before the game starts, even though none of you, of course, will be able to watch or listen to it until the game starts. So, there's that, but we want to be able to go watch the game.
You guys know what's happened already, probably. Are we even being foolishly optimistic? Have the Yankees just crushed Hunter Brown now, and you guys are just laughing that I'm talking about him being so good?
I mean, either you're right or you're wrong or something in the middle.
Usually that's the case.
Yeah, that's like there's a Mitch Hedberg joke about it's like I used to be in a band and people either loved us or hated us or they thought we were okay. And I find that to be just very true, good comedy because people are like, oh, Marcus Stroman's either going to be great or he's going to be terrible. No, he's probably going to be like something in between,
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
Every possible outcome.
Yeah. We're going to wrap up now. Thanks for listening. You can keep up with everything we do at yankeesfiles.com. You can follow us on Twitter, where we are at Yankees Files. The podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. We hope you'll rate, review, subscribe, do whatever the positive form of interaction with it is. If you like it, if you don't like it, we hope you just listen to it, download it, juice our numbers a little bit. Full video podcast is available for Spotify listeners and also on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@crosstownsports. We will be back sometime. I've been busy. You've been busy. We're going to put out content, but I'm not going to promise a day because that has just been foolhardy recently.
It's kind of fun right now because one really bad week could ruin everything. So if you're looking for us to sit here and cry, every week could be the week. This could be the last episode that we have any positivity. You never know.
So anyway, we'll be back at some point. And until then, let's go Yankees.
Let's go Yankees.
And I say, hey, yeah.